All right, guys, it's Wednesday morning. Going to show you another grouping of custom parts I made. Might pick up an echo inside the car here. Going with a push button start system. I've never tried it before. It's going to be something different. This black plastic insert actually comes out of the chrome bezel, and I plan on painting it gloss black and then buffing it so it looks like a factory plastic insert, but it'll just be plain because it says engine start on it already. I am going to run the factory heater in the car, no AC at this time. This will go back the factory hammer tone gray color. I did use a quarter panel crest here, and I used a 2-part panel bond and bonded it on, and then I put Bondo on my finger and went around it, smoothed it in. It is ready for hammer tone paint now. It goes underneath the dash over here, and you will see that crest hanging down. So it'll basically look like it's embossed in there. Just another neat little feature. This is my hood latch that I drilled speed holes and beveled. I stepped them. This does hang out of the bottom of the hood when the hood's up, so you will see that. Thought it'd be kind of neat and keep with the speed hole theme. And then here's more throttle pedal assembly stuff. This bolts on the back of the carburetor flange. Throttle valve cable for the 704 goes there, and then my stainless steel carb spring goes into the last little hole here. But anyway, just to give it something unique, I guess. And then this is actually a factory piece that I extended and then drilled holes in it and beveled those, and it goes right there. I showed the other piece that goes to the carburetor. I have reproduction bushings that go in here. They have a nylon insert and a rubber surround. I bought them all, and I used them for mock-up, so the throttle pedal assembly, it all works real smooth and real nice. I'm real happy with it. I am using a windshield washer jar, a factory style glass one. I drilled speed holes in the bracket. It'll probably go back flat black. I have an ANCO electric universal windshield washer pump assembly that'll go on the car from the factory. If you've got the windshield washer as an accessory, the middle of the wiper switch has a little push button, and I modified it and I put a micro switch on the back of it, a little push button switch. So when you push on the button, it activates the 12 volts to that electric pump, so my system will actually work. This is the second time I've done this. I did it back in the 90s on a 4-door I had. This is a piece of sheet metal on top of here that I panel bonded on. I still have to do some putty work around the edge, so I don't lose the knurling. I'll be taping that off. The factory little lid to refill it actually slides, and I drilled the rivet out, and I have a little number 6, I believe, button head Allen that'll go in there with a little nylon lock nut, and then the little plastic siphon piece goes in here, and it has a number 6 button head also. That may be a number 6 and this may be a number 8, I just don't remember. But I built a nice bracket that goes under the hood, and so this will be a neat looking. What I'm trying to basically do is make it look like it has a lot of options, you know, factory 55 options, but still be a resto mod. It'll be neat. I haven't showed this in a video before from the factory. This was called the Autotronic Eye, and this automatically dimmed your headlights. This was an option available on 1955 Chevrolets. I could not find one on eBay for a 55 or 6 because the base actually bolts onto the dash and it contours. So I ended up buying one from a Cadillac. Now it has the same exact part number of this, you know, this head's 2 pieces. It has the same, so basically the head is the same identical part number as a 55 or 56 Chevrolet. So I made my own base out of muffler pipe. I ovaled it and then split the back, pinched it together and welded it, and that's how I got the teardrop, because it does look like a factory base now, other than it's molded into the dash instead of bolting onto the dash. Obviously the Cadillac dash had a different contour, so the base would not work. It takes a big giant box underneath the hood on the inner fender. Has lots of tubes and crap in it, you know, the old light tubes or whatever they are. So I gutted everything out of this, and I have a shift light that I use the chipboard out of, and it mounts in here. I've already had it all mocked up. I have a little orange LED mounted in here, and I have the factory acrylic lens that I've already sanded and buffed. So anyway, the dial actually will go in the dash panel up here. This is an insert I made out of steel. It's not bolted in, it's just sitting there. But it's basically a dial, and I actually got the decal off of it that has the RPM increments. So it'll be a neat little feature. You know, it'll glare off the windshield when it goes off. Mainly had the midnight drags in mind when I did that. Anyway, I've got a tissue dispenser. This also is an option in 55, and it's basically a Kleenex dispenser. And it mounts on a swivel bracket under here, and it pivots out and locks in place. I made it a cup holder system. These are the only cup holders I could find on eBay that were shallow. I don't like the gray color. I may use some Sim plastic paint and paint them black or something. I don't know. I'm going to wait until I get it painted because I do have a gray interior, gray and black, so they might actually end up going. So I ended up plating in the slot for the Kleenex and then plating in the back, because when it's out, you know, you'll see the back of it. But I have a little number 6 button head Allens that'll go back in this to bolt it back on, because it was originally riveted. You know, it's a repop. This was also painted a hammer tone, I believe, if I remember. But anyway, another neat factory accessory that I turned into a useful item. There is my insert for the radio and some switches and some other stuff. I'm going to buy a flocking kit, the gray flocking kit, you know, because the factory 55 glove box was felt lined. So I'm going to flock it with gray flocking. They do sell the kit. A lot of muscle car companies have it, so we'll go in after that. I guess that's about it, guys, for this go around. Just thought I'd show another video of some custom stuff I did.